Situational success rates for running and passing the football. This one is an extremely powerful tool that you can utilize when studying success rates when a team decides to run versus pass. Now, overlaid on this inherently is the fact that since we're summing up the offensive plays, you're going to be able to look at sort of how often a team is choosing to run versus pass the football. But that's kind of just a side that you're going to be able to take away from this. There's other ways to look at run-pass ratios and tendencies from other visualizations. But here you can look at different positions, weak, down, field zone. So once again, we're going to look at the red zone, or we want to look at when we're backed up in our own 20, things of that nature. Yards away from touchdown. So this one is a little bit more unique that I put on here. And essentially what you're able to do from here is obviously it goes from 99 all the way down to 1. And so that's how many yards you have to go before you get a touchdown. So if I filter this and I just want to see what a team does inside the red zone, obviously it's going to take everything away when I select nothing. And when I come back here and select inside the red zone, it's going to populate only that which is inside the red zone. Now you can see that it's only 20 yards away to 1 yard away. So I can go within the red zone and I can look at just those plays, and it's going to take everything away again here. I want to look at just those plays where a team is within 5 yards of the goal line. So that's pretty powerful if you want to choose to isolate plays like this. You can really get a good sense of not only what the team is trying to do, but how successful they are at achieving that. So for example here, we're clearly looking at only those plays which are within 5 yards of the end zone. Yards to go, obviously this is populating everything, but we're not going to worry about yards to go right now. You can look at whether they have 1 yard to gain a first down and they're inside the 5 yard line, or if it's just needs to score a touchdown to, it's first and goal, second and goal, etc. You could look at here, you could see the Atlanta Falcons, for example. They decided to run the ball 23 times. They passed the ball 17. Their success rate when they passed the ball was 53%. The success rate when they run the ball was 43%. So obviously they were more successful passing, terrible when they were running. But interestingly enough, the NFL average inside the 5 yard line is 54% of run plays are successful, whereas 45% of pass plays are successful. And I think that we have this impression, and this will just be a teaching point for a moment, but one of the best things I like about this site is that you can take things like this away from it. Here you can clearly see it is more successful to run the football inside the opponent's 5 yard line. Spread the defense out using multiple wide receivers and attempt to run the football. Far too often, I think, though, there's a very split ratio, 587 run plays, 509 pass plays. But only 45% of those pass plays were successful. You can really get a good sense as to the teams that struggled tremendously. The Atlanta Falcons were one. Look at the Washington Redskins. Only 42% of their run plays are successful, well below the average, 25th. Whereas when they threw the ball inside the red zone, a much, much higher success rate. But the biggest offender here was the Indianapolis Colts. Absolutely miserable running the football inside the red zone. Remember, the average is 54%. They're up at 21%. But when they passed the ball, 60% of those attempts were successful. So extremely strong when they passed, terrible when they ran. 14 run plays, 15 pass plays. They tried to stay balanced, but far less success when they ended up attempting to run the football. So one of the things that Adam Gase is going to try to work on in Miami is to improve this passing inside the red zone. Obviously, 29% success rate passing the football was the third worst in the NFL.